Yoga Spirituality, yes, Vyasa University. We will commence with a Bhagavad Prarthana invocation. I would like to invite Shankari, BSc YBD student, to render the invocation.
मुदाकरार्थमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कराधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकरिगनायकं विनाशितीर्थदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकं नमामि तं विनायकं न तेतरादिभीकरं नवो विराटभास्वरं न भत्सुरारिनिर्जनं न तालिकापदुद्धरं सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरं समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवप्रभक्षरं कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं दशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतं नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Shankari. Actually, first we should have done Deepa Prajwalanam. Now I request all the dignitaries, our Guruji, Vice Chancellor Sir, Acharya Ramanuja, and our speaker, Patanjali, do the Deepa Prajwalanam.
Please.
Om Agne
Nayasupataraye asman Vishwani deva vayunani Yodhyasmajjuranamenaha Bhuyishtante namavuktim vidhema Sadgamaya
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Anurangamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Asato
Ma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam
गणेशः वन्दितः देवताः प्रार्थिताः निर्विघ्नता सिद्ध्यतु इति अस्माकं प्रार्थना. Now we will commence this lecture. I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Ranganji. Before that, I would also welcome all the dignitaries of our esteemed Acharya University. Our revered Guruji, Dr. Acharya is here. I welcome him. Our Honorable Vedic Research Center. Acharya is here. So all elders are here to who are gracing this occasion. Our Subramanyam ji, advisor to the Chancellor, is present, and Registrar Sir, Professor Shankara sir is there, and Deputy Registrar Dr. Vasudeva Indeji is there. Principals Dr. Apar ji and Dr. Vikasit are here. So indeed we are blessed to have such a gathering, and also of course great students are here from ENYS, Yoga School, Yoga Spirituality Division. So I welcome you all, and I take now the great pleasure to introduce the speaker and also the subject in very, very brief, so that we get to hear from, or get to drink from the wisdom, the nectar of wisdom from Dr. Ranganji. Dr. Ranganji is not new to us, not new to S. Vyasa. So he has always been here with us as a guiding force for the Yoga Spirituality Division since its inception under the guidance of Acharya Ramachandra ji. Ranganji is Brahmashri Dr. R. Rangan Ramakrishnan ji is a Veda Guru, founder of Vedic Gurukulams and the author of Sanskrita commentaries of Rigveda. The entire Rigveda Samhita of 10,000 mantras have been commented upon in chaste Sanskrita, and it has been approved by all the Acharyas of our contemporary times. So such a Veda Bhashya Karta, Vedokino Dharmamula. So after in the 14th century we had Sayanacharya, and now in who wrote commentaries to all Vedic portions, and in 21st century now we have Dr. Ranganji with us, who has written a commentary to the stupendous Rigveda Samhita, in which the mantras of Vishwamitra, Agastya, Vasishtha and all rishis are there. That is the fountainhead of our knowledge. So hence that is a singular great achievement that we can see that has been contributed by Dr. Ranganji, and he is also an adept scholar in Yoga Shastra, having done his PhD in this very hallowed institution, S. Vyasa University, in 2009. And his lineage, the sampradaya in which he is there, he is the sampradaya, in the sampradaya of great Acharya, Shri Periyavachan Pillai. He is a great Vaishnava Acharya who is a great proponent of Vaishnava Dharma in the path of Acharya Ramanuja. So he is in the lineage of Shri Periyavachan Pillai, and also Mahatma Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal. He is the son and disciple and the lineage continuer of Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal, and he is an academic. He has founded 2 Gurukulams, the Shruti Rama Gurukulam, Sita Lakshmi Gurukulam, and it's very interesting to note that as he is a very adept scholar in Sanskrita, Vedas, Ramayana, Purana, Itihasa, all this literature, he is also an MBA. So he is a MBA in Personal Management and Industry Relationship in Symbiosis Institute of Management, Pune. So here we find a confluence of the Sanatana and the Adhunatana. So hence such a Acharya is amidst us. So it is not wise to speak more when such an Acharya is here. So hence this occasion, as I mentioned in the Maitri Milan at the end, we are in a very interesting juncture where we have to look back to look ahead. So our Honorable Prime Minister has initiated a discussion, especially in the university education setup, higher education setup, where students should think about Vikasit Bharat. What is your idea of Vikasit Bharat? So the UGC also has taken up many initiatives in bringing up a reorientation in our mindset about Vikasit Bharat as students, because you are the ones who are going to take up and develop this idea of Vikasit Bharat. So hence an orientation to Vikasit Bharat, but based on our dharma, is very essential. There is I just recollect one shloka. With that shloka I will conclude. It is by Bhojaraja in the 10th century when he wrote in Champu Ramayanam, Uchchaye Gate Jagati Siddhyati Dharmatasche Tasya Pramacha Vachanai Kritaketaraische Tesham Prakashana Dashacha Mahisureische Tanantarena Nipate Vanumat Pranamaha. At the very beginning of his Champu Ramayana, he says that Uchchaihi Gatihi. Now we are speaking about Vikasita Bharat. That's a very Uchchaihi Gatihi. Means a great position that we want to see our country in. Where does that Uchchaihi Gatihi come from? Uchchaihi Gatihi Siddhyati Dharmataha che. It comes from following Dharma. So it is based on Dharma that we can achieve that Uchchaihi Gatihi, that exalted state, a place of prestige and privilege among the countries of the world. Uchchaihi Gatihi Jagati Siddhyati Dharmatasche Tasya Prakashana Dasha Tasya Pramacha Vachanai Kritaketaraishte. How do we know what is Dharma which will lead us to that Uchchaihi Gatihi? Prama Kritaketaraihi Vachanaihi Nitya Vachanaihi. It has to come from an eternal source, that is from the Vedas. So highest position is reached by Dharma, and Dharma is taught to us, or the knowledge of Dharma comes to us from an eternal source, that is the Vedas. And Tesham Prakashana Dashacha Mahisureishche. Who will teach us that what is there in the Vedas? Who will enlighten us about what is there in the Vedas? Mahisuraha, the gods who walk amongst us, that is the enlightened, the wise, the intellectuals who are there amidst us, who know, who have soaked into the sampradaya and the tradition of Sanatana Dharma. They are the ones who will enlighten about Dharma, who will enlighten us about the Vedas, which will help us understand about Dharma, which will lead us to Uchchaihi Gatihi. So especially Acharyas like Ramanuja and Shankara are the Mahisuras, and in our contemporary times we have Acharyas like Dr. Ranganji, who will tell us about the Vedic, Dharmic path towards the Uchchaihi Gatihi, that is Vikasita Bharat. With these few words, I welcome you, sir, and request you to deliver this.
Thank you, Jayaramanji. Dear aspirants of yoga, Patanjali defines yoga, as we all know, as Chittavritti Nirodha. But Patanjali doesn't stop there. He is talking about Swarupa Avasthana, Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana. Yoga is not just a stoppage of the psychic modes. By the stoppage of psychic modes, what happens? By the stoppage of psychic modes, one gets established in one's own core self. This is very important. Even without talking about the self, the core self, the knower, the seer, the drashta, one can remain a great yogi just by Chittavritti Nirodha. There were saints. For example, Bhagavan Buddha was like that. Nairatmyavada. Buddha doesn't talk about an eternal self. Neither he accepts it. He denies the eternity of self. Still in Buddha Paksha, Buddha or the followers of Buddha like Dignaga or Nagarjuna, the great disciples of Buddha, they all are great yogis, no doubt. So, to become a yoga master, Chittavritti Nirodha alone is enough. Stoppage of the psychic modes. This is what Buddha is. This is what among modern philosophers, this is what J. Krishnamurti is. They don't talk about the eternity of self. And in Patanjali's language, this can be called as Prakriti Laya. Merge in the nature. What is the merge in the nature? You meditate upon a particular object without a second thought, effortlessly. that object starts to reveal its secret, the force behind the form and the name, and without a second thought, you merge in that energy behind the object. This is what you may call as nirvichara samadhi. And still, even here, there is a possibility of some bhava content, samsara content, bhava pratyayaha, videha prakriti layana. Still, this is what Patanjali says, even among prakriti layas, still some contents are there, samsaric contents are there. What is that samsaric content? Even that energy behind the name and form is a samsaric content. It is recognized as a samsaric content by Patanjali, bhava pratyayaha. In another sutra also, regarding Nidra, he has a sutra. Patanjali's wonderful contribution. While he talks about Nidra, he says, abhava pratyaya alambana vrittihi Nidra. Deep sleep has a pratyaya, it has a content of nothingness. Content of nothingness. Content of nothingness is a vritti, according to Patanjali. It is also a vritti. And this content of nothingness has to be transcended. The unmanifest nature, or avyakta prakriti, or abhava pratyaya. Merging in this abhava pratyaya is nidra. Merging in avyakta prakriti is prakriti laya. Most of the Sankhya philosophers, even though they accept the purity of self, they are prakriti layas, most of them. And of course, all Buddhists are prakriti layas. Modern philosophers like J. Krishnamurti are prakriti layas. They are great soul, no doubt. But it is also identified as a vritti, it is also identified with as a bhava pratyaya. One has to transcend that also. Awareness shift must be from the energy behind the forms and names to the seer of that energy. This is a very interesting thing. The seer, the knower, the conscious being, the self. This shift may happen naturally also. Okay, urvarukamiva bandhanat. This can happen effortlessly also when we move gradually in meditation. Dirghakala, Nairantariya, Satkara. Gradually, when we are being aware completely of the energy behind the name and form, that energy itself will reveal its secret as the self, as the conscious being, as the gnosis. It's very interesting. For that also Patanjali says, Nirvichara Vaisharadhye Adhyatma Prasadaha. Adhyatma Prasadaha. When we get mastery over Nirvichara Samadhi, the channel towards self is opened. Adhyatma Prasadaha. After that, Ananda Samadhi or Asmita Samadhi, or beyond that, Nirbija, all these Samadhis which Patanjali is talking about, they all are self-related, consciousness-related. There comes the field of yoga or Vedanta. Okay. Patanjali talks about that pure self, and pure self is the goal in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana. He could have told, Tada Swarupe Avasthanam. That's enough. Swarupe Avasthanam can be interpreted as merging in the energy behind name and form, this unmanifest nature. Therefore, he uses deliberately the word drashtuhu. Drashtuhu, seer's swarupa. One has to get established in seer's swarupa. That is Patanjali's area. That's a field of Patanjali. And so, Patanjali talks about the self, the pure self, which is eternal, which is pure, in fact, which is already liberated, appears to be bound. Drashta drishimatraha shuddho api pratyaya anupashyaha. Appears to be bound through adjuncts. that purity of self, that Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swarupam, about which Patanjali is talking. So, after Patanjali, through two great philosophers, Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. Shankaracharya went in a path, Ramanujacharya went in another path. But Patanjali is common to both, since Patanjali talks about the purity of self. Okay. Purity of self. Purity of self is accepted by both Shankara and Ramanuja here. It's very interesting. Self is already pure, as if afflicted by the adjuncts impurities. This is there in Patanjali, but a very subtle difference between Shankaracharya and Patanjali is this. To Shankaracharya, this self is not only pure, not only eternal, but also one. Even though there are various physical bodies, like one space is existing in all parts. You can have various parts. Among those parts, one akasha is existing, one space is existing. You can't tell that each part has different spaces. You can't tell that. One space is there in different parts. In the same way, this pure self, this eternal self, we don't have thousands and millions and crores of selves. Like one space existing in various parts, one self is existing in all bodies, all adjuncts. Like one sun, when getting reflected, it appears as various suns in the mirror or water in various pools and ponds. Pratidrisham iva naikadha arkam ekam samadigatosmi vidhuta bheda mohaha. So, various suns, it appears various suns as various suns, but there is only one sun. When you keep your finger like this, two suns you can see, but only one sun exists. Okay, so there are no multiplicity in self. Something like a Schrödinger's consciousness is singular, to which plural is unknown. The Schrödinger's statement. This matches with Shankaracharya. It's intuitive expression of Schrödinger. Okay. Anyhow, coming back to the point, there is one infinite self, which is the material and instrumental cause of this universe. That is how Shankaracharya elevated this concept of Patanjali. Patanjali talks about the purity of self. With that, he stops. We can't say that he stops there. There are very subtle sutras, one or two sutras, where Patanjali appears to accept the this singular self of the infinite consciousness, which Shankaracharya is talking about. For example, the sutra, what is the result of asana? There comes a statement, Ananta Samapatti. Okay. Ananta Samapatti is a merge in infinite. If you accept infinite, it means you have accepted Advaita, finished. Ananta Samapatti he talks about, and many scholars are bewildered. How can Patanjali talk about infinite? Therefore, they interpret it as Ananta means Adisesha, Ananta Samapatti means darshan of Adisesha. If one performs asana very well, he will get a darshan of Adisesha. That kind of interpretations are there. While our Gurukula children, while they were performing asanas, one day a serpent came. I jokingly said, you are doing very well these asanas because Adisesha has come. Patanjali talks about Adisesha. But you can have a natural flow of meaning there. Ananta is infinite. Ananta Samapatti is merge in infinite. Patanjali talks about this infinite, it's fine. But anyhow, since it is not his subject matter, it is not that Jaimini is atheist. since it is not his, God is not the subject matter of Jaimini, Jaimini is not talking about it. Okay. The infinity of self is not the subject matter of Patanjali, therefore he is not dealing with that, that's all. If someone's scientific paper doesn't talk about God, you can't stamp him as atheist. Okay. Okay, coming back to the point. Shankaracharya went in one course, that is, this, you may call it as monism, I don't know how to call it. Okay, one self in all adjuncts. Shankaracharya is talking about it. Sri Ramanujacharya went in another course. This is also an interesting course. He accepts all these concepts, that is, self is pure, self is eternal, self is beyond adjuncts, self appears to be impure through the adjuncts. All these adjuncts, if they are removed, self is already pure. All these concepts are there in Ramanujacharya. With this, interestingly, he adds one more thing. This is a very interesting thing. This self, I don't know how to translate that in English. In his own word, in Gita Bhashya, Bhagavatcheshataika rasam. This self is Bhagavatcheshataika rasa. This self is Bhagavatchesha. This is the Shesha to the divine. Please don't take this Shesha as Adi Shesha. Again, like Ananta. Shesha, I don't know how to translate this. It can be very poorly translated as part here. In Shesha has a meaning, part, but here, in this context, it is something more than part. Shesha it belongs to, okay, this self belongs to the divine. Bhagavat can be translated as divine. This self belongs to the divine. Bhagavat Cheshata, and that itself is its joy, rasa. Bhagavat Cheshata Eka Rasa. The self, its true joy is its belongingness to the divine. Okay, this is the idea brought by Sri Ramanujacharya in his Sri Bhashyam, in his commentary to Brahma Sutra, in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita. The whole Jiva Tattva is explained by Sri Ramanuja based on this. This belongingness to the divine. Belongs to the divine. It is a Shesha to the divine. That is the core nature of the self. If it loses its core nature, if it falls in the adjuncts, then it will suffer. To come out of this adjuncts and to get established in the core nature, that is its belonging to the divine, belongingness to the divine, is the moksha, is the Swarupavasthana according to Ramanuja. And coincidentally, belief goes in this way. Patanjali is the incarnation of Adisesha, and Ramanuja is also the incarnation of Adisesha. In that sense, Ramanuja is the next birth of Patanjali. If this belief is correct, it's a belief. Sri Ramanuja, of course, Sesha, for your information, Adisesha is called as Sesha because of this only, because Sesha belongs to Narayana. Okay. And Sesha is the coiled form of unmanifest nature. That which remains is Sesha. For that reason also, Sesha is called as Sesha. Coming back to the point, this belongingness to the divine, generally the samsaris need it. Patanjali also talks about this belongingness to the divine in the famous sutra Ishvara Pranidhanadva. We submit ourselves to the divine. Fantastic. But subtle difference between Patanjali and Ramanuja. Patanjali takes it to be a sadhana, a spiritual sadhana, and it is optional. Surrendering to the divine is optional. Ishvara Pranidhanadva. Okay. You may surrender to divine. By that also you can get Chitta Shuddhi, purification of heart, so that you can get established in pure self. This is Patanjali's path. But regarding Ramanuja, surrendering to the divine is not a path. Okay. Before Ramanuja, it was considered to be the path for Chitta Shuddhi. Regarding Ramanuja, Ramanuja also accepts it, to have it as a path to Chitta Shuddhi. He accepts it. But beyond that, he talks some other thing. It is the core nature of the self, this is what he says. Submission to the divine or belongingness to the divine is the core nature of the self. Surrender or sharanagati or submission is nothing but recognition of this belongingness. Whether you recognize the belongingness or not, all beings in the world belong to the divine. We don't have ownership. We are not owners. Okay. More we fall in the trap of ownership, more we will be attacked, we will be affected by samsara. Generally, what Prakriti gives to us, what samsara gives to us, Vishaya Bhoga gives to us, it grossifies our I. This ego comes. Ego. How ego can be defined? The best definition of ego I found in Sankhya Sutras. Okay, many scholars, many writers want to define ego, including Sigmund Freud or C.G. Jung. But in one word, Sankhya Sutra defines ego. Abhimanaha ahankaraha. Ego is identification. Very simple. I is there. I is wonderful. We don't have any problem with this I. I is pure. I is pure. I is eternal. But when this I is superimposed upon this mic, there comes ego. Okay. This mic belongs to me. This disc belongs to me. Then ego starts there. When I start to think this mic belongs to me, after this session also, I will try to take this mic to my house. And the mic wala will start to fight with me. All these troubles will start. So, anyhow, ownership is notion. That's a very important thing. Ownership is not eternal. Since it is not eternal, it is only notion. It is not permanent. Anything we superimpose upon that our ownership, and this ownership becomes notion. Nothing is permanent here. So ownership is wrong. This mic is mine, this is my desk is mine, all the people, listeners are mine, and sanstha is mine, institution is mine, or this is my house, these are my relations. This is what the Prakriti has given to us. Anadikalatah. For a long time we are like this. In several births we are like that. And this idea has to be shifted. All these things don't belong to me. All these things belong to the divine. And me too belong to divine. I belong to the divine. I belong to the divine. And all my senses belong to the divine. The body belongs to the divine. Whatever I enjoy, it's not that I should not enjoy. I can enjoy my life. But before having food, you know Vadamala? Have you heard of this? Hanuman is garlanded with a garland of Vadas. Vada, you know? Is called as Vadamala. This is one convention. In Hanuman Jayanti and all, when you see in Hanuman temples, Hanuman will be wearing the garland of Vadas, eatable, Vada. And some devotees offer Jangri Mala also for Hanuman. And some people bitter leaf Mala. Okay. All these things. Hanuman is a Brahmacharyan. Why bitter leaf Mala? And why Vadamala to Hanuman, someone asked me. I don't know. Because no scripture instructs us to offer Vadamala to Hanuman. Nowhere in Ramayana it is told that Hanuman ate Vada. I don't know whether Vada existed at the time of Ramayana at all. But we offer Vadamala to Hanuman. I know one answer. It comes in Valmiki's Ramayana. Yadannaf purusho bhavati tadannas tasya devataha. Okay. We offer Vadamala to Hanuman because we like Vada. Instead of taking Vada for us, today morning we wake up and today my mother is going to cook Vada, wonderful, we are going to enjoy this delicious dish Vada. Instead of thinking like that, today is Hanuman Jayanti and Vada we can offer to Hanuman, we can take it as prasada. Just this notional correction, what can I say? This change of our perception, okay, Vada belongs to me, I am going to enjoy Vada, I am going to enjoy Vada, give up that. And Vada is prasada, I am going to enjoy this prasada. This prasada is from Bhagavan, this prasada is from Hanumanji. This kind of mindset changes our whole life, The same way the whole life can be seen as prasada, our children can be seen as prasada, the whole family can be taken as prasada. All these things belong to me. Give up that idea and we need to recognize that all these things belong to the divine. The whole family belongs to divine. Panigrahana mantra is like that. Mahyam tvaduhu garghapatyaya devaha. Accepting the wife, the grihastha, the husband says, gods are giving you as prasada to me. Wife is seen in that way. Children are seen in that way. Okay, this is a divine gift. When you see all these things as divine gift, gradually ego starts to get thinned out. Ego starts to diminish. Only through ego, I am the ruler, I am the controller, I have to control everything and anything. Because of this only, everywhere in last 2000 years, we see several genocides, world wars, everywhere. In America, in Australia, aborigines were massacred and killed. In Tasmania, not even a single Tasmania exists now. Only its invaders are existing there. Everywhere, in last 2000 years, we see massacre in the world history because of the ego. And having this ego, we are discussing how to stop the world war, how to establish peace. And nobody has done this inner work. First of all, what is the cause of all these struggles and the world wars and genocides? Ego is the cause of all these things. I want to possess, I should possess, I should rule the whole world. I should bring all the things under my control. Yes, ego makes us to fight as per our capacity. If I am a small boy, I will pinch the another boy. If I am Hitler, I will kill 80 million persons. Okay. As per our power, as per our capacity, ability, we torture others based on this ego. That's all. Ego has to get eliminated. Mamasmi should go and Tavasmi should come. Tavasmi is Ramayana's expression and is a very important concept in Ramanuja's philosophy. Sakrideva prapannaya tava asmiticha, tavasmiticha yachate. A very important shloka from Ramayana according to Ramanuja. Ramanuja quotes this shloka several times. Tavasmiticha yachate. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyaha dadam yetatu vratam mama. Tavasmi means, oh divine, I belong to you. I belong to you. This belongingness, this sheshatva. Tavasmi ticha yachate. By this we can conquer the ego. Ego can be thinned out. Ego diminishes gradually. And submission here is not a kriya. Submission is not taken to be an action. But submission is a recognition of belongingness to the divine. Therefore, Sharanagati itself is taken to be jnanam in Ramanuja's philosophy. It's very interesting. Sharanagati is the knowledge of belongingness to the divine. Belongingness is the core nature of the self. And of course, all of us need it. When we become restless, we think we need a mentor, we need a guide. We want someone to be superior and surrender to them, submit to them. All of us, any human being needs it in some stressful situations. That is why we run after God. We go to some God and stand in front of that God. We feel that we are karpanyam. Okay. There are 6 lakshanas of Sharanagati in Pancharatra Agama. I don't want to deal with that. We don't have time for that. The 6th lakshana is called as karpanyam. Karpanyam means humility, humbleness. When we pray, what do? You leave all other things, dogma, temple, institutions. We all have a personal prayer. We all pray. When we pray, what we do? What do we do? While we are praying, what do we feel? Personally, when we are praying, some feeling that God is great. We are the children of God. We belong to God. We belong to God. What Ramanuja says is a common man's experience. Any common man in the whole world experiences this. We belong to God. Karpanya. God is great is Karpanya. We belong to God is Atmanikshepa, the 5th lakshana of Sharanagati. Among the 6 lakshanas, last 2 lakshanas, okay, there is a text named Ahirbudhnya Samhita. Okay. Among the 100 Pancharatra texts, Ahirbudhnya Samhita is a very important text. Ahirbudhnya Samhita talks about 6 lakshanas of Sharanagati. Okay, I have taken this, I will tell a little about it. Anukulyasya sankalpaha, pratikulyasya varjanam. When I surrender to the divine, I should live in the way in which divine is pleased. This is anukulyasya sankalpaha. Pratikulyasya varjanam means I have to give up which is disliked by the divine. Okay. Rakshishyati iti viswasaha. I should have a faith, strong faith that the divine will give security to me. Gotrutva varanam tatha. I should surrender only to the divine. Gotrutva varanam. Okay. Surrender should be only to the divine. I should not surrender to any other thing. And Atmanikshepa. Atmanikshepa is the Swarupam of Sharanagati. Atmanikshepa means submission. This is the 5th lakshana of Sharanagati. Submission. Karpanya means humility, Vinaya, humbleness. Let me take the last 2 lakshanas, Atmanikshepa and Karpanya. Atmanikshepa is submission. We all wish to submit to the divine, in front of divine, in prayer, in the personal prayer. We offer ourselves to Bhagavan. As a symbol of offering ourselves to Bhagavan, we offer some prasada, some sandal, whatever we enjoy in our sansaric life. Okay, whatever we enjoy in our material life, we try to offer to the divine. We offer modaka and laddu, all these things we offer to the divine. Feeling that we are submitting. We are submitting not just laddu and modaka, we are submitting ourselves. This is just a sign. In prayer, it's just a sign. We are lighting a lamp or candle, all these things we are doing. By doing all these things, we try to submit ourselves to the divine. This is Atmanikshepa. Karpanya, we are feeling that we are humbled in front of the divine. When these 2 things are happening, at least for a few minutes, we feel our heart is moved. यह तो मार्मिक है. Our heart is moved. Our heart, at least for a fraction of a second, feel the purity, feel our core nature. It's very interesting. That is why many beggars are standing in front of a temple. You see? Oh, so many beggars in front of a temple, Some people complain. Why beggars are standing in front of a temple? Why can't they stand in the airport? Why can't they stand in some party hall? In a party hall, beggars can stand. Why in a temple? Because only in a temple, after prayer, he feels for others. Yes. The purity is there. Very important. The purity is there. After submission to the divine, the heart is humiliated with this humble mood. Okay, humble bhavana. We come out of the temple. At that time, we get the tendency to help others, serve others. When the beggars are coming and asking for something, we will be ready to offer to them. Knowingly or unknowingly, whether beggars know it or not, they have a time-tested history that in front of temples we can get something. They come there and stand. Okay. After seeing God and worshipping Him, we feel we belong to Him and we all are humiliated. It is not that I am superior, he is inferior. All these things go away. I am great. This fellow is an idiot. He is inferior. All these things go away. We all are not great. We are dasas. We are servants in front of the divine. We are children of the divine. Amrutasya putraha. We are children of the divine. We are Shesha of the divine. Therefore, we all are one. It's not that I am inferior, I am superior, you are inferior. That ego is going away. We all are one. Divine is the guiding factor of us. We all have to follow the divine. And divine is leading us. With this tendency, when we start to see the world, we all become brothers and sisters. Have you heard of this expression, brothers and sisters? Yeah, Swami Vivekananda took this message to USA, Chicago address. He not only took this message, after that in next lecture, the second lecture or in third lecture, he also quotes from the Veda, Amrutasya putraha. We all are the children of immortality, immortal divine. Is a literal meaning, but he translates it as sharers of immortality. It's wonderful. He's giving the tone of the passage, Amrutasya putraha. We all share the immortality, immortal divine. And it is a sin to call oneself as sin in his core nature. That also he says. People are sinners, no doubt. But by nature we are sinners is a dangerous statement. Okay. In nature we are pure, please understand. Impurity is only adjunct. In the very religion itself, in core, in nature, if we consider ourselves as sinners, then it is getting reflected in psychology too, not only in religion. Sigmund Freud says, impurity is our core nature, and purity is only an adjunct. It's not only in religion, it is in Freudian psychology. Unconscious mind, yes, I agree, unconscious mind is filthy only. But beyond the unconscious mind, there is one divine, which is pure. That is the core nature of a being, and not the unconscious mind. Freud did not go to that sthara, that place. Okay. He is stopping with unconscious mind. Okay, coming back to the point, this core nature, which is the belongingness to the divine, which is divine, when we start to feel it, what we see all as the children of God, we all are brothers and sisters, this expansion comes. While I am talking about expansion, I want to explain this expansion in two ways. In Ramanuja's Vishishtadvaita Siddhanta, Vishishtadvaita philosophy, expansion is very important. And to our institution, Yasvyasa, the concept of expansion is very important. Uniqueness of this institution is, throughout, when you go to any yoga ashrama in the world, they will teach you concentration, focus, which is very important in yoga, no doubt. But here you would have heard a word, defocus. Generally, defocus, the word is taken in a negative way, that is how we heard outside. But here, this defocus is a positive word. Probably more positive than focus. Okay. The effortless expansion, which we see here in the teaching of Yasvyasa, before 1000 years, Sri Ramanuja talked about it. That's a very interesting thing. In Vishishtadvaita philosophy, this expansion is very important. And we here have this expansion concept as part and parcel When we listen to the talks of Sri Satyanarayana Shastri, openly I am telling, when we see the eye of Sri Nagendra Guruji, we can see that expansion. Yeah. It is always dwelling in expansion. So it's like that. Okay. It's always in that expansion. Jnanena akasha kalpena, the space. And Patanjali's Ananta Samapatti. Okay. This expansion, when you do several yoga practices, asana or pranayama, the final posture of asana, or in the ending portion of Kapalabhati, in pranayama, in various kriyas, everywhere, what you can experience is this expansion. Knowingly you can experience it, or unknowingly also you can experience it. With effortlessness, with silence, this expansion is inherent. Sri Ramanuja says, Dharma Bhuta Jnanam of Atman is expanded. This expansion due to Prakriti appears to be constricted. When we are in peace, we feel expanded. When we meditate on Akasha, when we meditate on deep blue sky, okay, vast sky or deep ocean, deep blue ocean, you feel expanded. It is not just an imagination, it is the core of the self. Only when you feel expanded, you can be in peace or joy. Or when you are in peace or joy, you observe your mind, it will be expanded. It will be with less thoughts. Constriction is not there. Sri Ramanuja talks about it. Okay. And how it came to Ramanuja's philosophy, this expansion idea. Atman is always expanded. And it appears as if constricted. This is what Ramanuja says. How it came to his insight. Yes. Because of this belongingness to the divine. Yeah. The surrender and expansion are mutual. It's another interesting thing. And Swami Vivekananda observes a very great reality. Okay. Vivekananda says, surrender is expansion. When I surrender myself to the divine, when I feel I belong to the divine, when I submit my body, my senses, my thoughts, my intelligence, all to the divine, I completely feel expanded. Because the Prakriti constrictions, okay, all these things are getting washed away. They go away. I completely feel expanded. So surrender is expansion. Surrender leads to this expansion. Hanuman was in search of Sita in Sundarakanda. His mind was so constricted. Such great Hanuman, matchless hero. He planned to commit suicide. You take the 13th chapter of Sundarakanda. That is how it comes. He felt very unfortunate. I am not seeing Mother Sita. Therefore, what will happen if I am not going to see Sita? Rama will lose his life. And Lakshmana also. Bharata will enter into fire followed by Shatrughna. Sugriva also will feel sorry and die. All these things are going to happen. I am not going to see all these things. I will commit suicide. Up to that level, mind got constricted and became stressful. Then, all of a sudden, a thought came to him. Why can't I surrender to the object which I am searching for? Without the grace of the Divine Mother Sita, I can't see her. I can't have his darshan, her darshan. Then, Devyai cha tasyai janakatmajayai. He gave up all these thoughts. What will happen if I go and tell that I have not seen Sita, then Sugriva will die, all Vanaras will die. All this nonsense he threw away. He just kept silent. Silently, he surrendered himself to the Divine Mother Sita. Tadunnasam Panduradantam Avranam Suchismitam Padmapalasalochanam Drakshe Tadaryavadanam. With this surrender, Samuhurtam iva dhyatva manasacha adigamyatam. After this surrender to the Divine Mother, he opened his eyes and could see Ashoka Grove, Ashoka Vanam, and he entered into it and had a darshan of Sita Devi. So, surrendering solves the conflicts. Sharanagati solves the conflicts. Sharanagati makes us to come out of the constriction. Kunta means narrowness. Kunta in Sanskrit is narrowness. Kunta also can mean division. I think in Kannada also Kunte they say, right? I don't know, this Kunte has connection with that Kunta, I don't know. Okay. Some small place is called as Kunte. Vikunta means devoid of narrowness, means expansion. Vikunta means expansion. Vikuntasya idam vaikuntam. Vaikuntam means expansion. Okay. In Ramanuja's philosophy, Vaikunta is the name of moksha. Okay. In fact, Vishnu. What is Vishnu? Vishnu means Vishudru Vyaptau, the expanded one, the expanded divine. Vaishnava means, again, the expansion. If Vishnu is expansion, then Vaishnava also is expansion. So, when this expansion is established here, when there is no constriction here, then we give up the hatred. Tato na vijugupsate. We give up the aversion, we give up the hatred. We start to embrace all. Ramanuja's heart was embracing all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, lokas samasta sukhino bhavantu. There, different kinds of castes and creeds, they all fall. I belong to a higher class. Okay. I belong to a superior class. I belong to, so I'm a very great man. All these things go away. For your information, Ramanuja Acharya's Guru Parampara, in which the first man, first person, first human, okay, Lakshminatha is the divine. Lakshminatha Samarambam. Okay, Natha Yamuna Madhyama. First human guru in Ramanuja Acharya's Parampara belongs to a lower caste, that is Nammalvar. And it is told that based on Nammalvar's compositions only, Sri Ramanuja Acharya wrote his Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Okay, it's very interesting. And he never considered Nammalvar as a lower caste. And his immediate mentors, he had 5 mentors. Among those 5 mentors, one mentor, his name is Tirukkachi Nambi, also is a lower caste. He wanted to have the remain food, prasada of Tirukkachi Nambi. Please understand, being a Brahmin, Ramanuja is a Brahmin. Tirukkachi Nambi is belonging to a lower class. He wanted to have prasada of Tirukkachi Nambi. His relations stopped him. It is told that is why he became upset and became a sannyasa. Okay. Sannyasa is not much emphasized in Visishta Advaita like Advaita. In Advaita, sannyasa is very important. It is almost mandatory to attain moksha. Almost. But in Visishta Advaita, only by sannyasa you can get moksha. It is not like that. Why Ramanuja got sannyasa? Because he is upset with his relatives who stopped him to have prasada of his mentor Tirukkachi Nambi. That's how it is going. So, in his whole life, his disciples like Villidasar, so on and so forth, and he embraced all. In Melkote also, whom we call now as Dalits. Okay. On those days, Ramanuja named them Tirukulattar. Okay. This Tirukulattar. That is why Gandhiji named them as Harijans. Okay. Inspired by Ramanuja, he named them as Harijans. Harijans means belonging to Hari. Hari means Narayana. Okay. Tirukulattar also has the same meaning. He embraced those Harijans in his tradition, in Srirangam, in Melkote, in several other places. He embraced everybody belonging to any caste. he accepts them, this kind of expansion you can see in him, and following him, all other traditions started this. Even before Ramanuja, Shankaracharya openly said, Chandalostu, Satu Dijostu, Gururiti Yesha Manisha Mame. Whether he is an outcast or a Brahmin, if he has self-knowledge, he is my Guru. This is Shankaracharya's statement. Okay. And it further, in Ramanuja, you can see that practically everywhere he has lot of devotees and disciples from various castes following that. Sri Ramananda took up that in North India. Ramananda accepted all kinds of castes to him, and Maharashtra, Varkari Sampradaya. Various traditions existing in India, Varkari or Ramanandi or Chaitanya Sampradaya, all have seed in Ramanuja. This is the contribution of Sri Ramanuja for our India, Bharat. Vikasit Bharat. Bharat is going to blossom. For that, a very important thing we need is this vision, seeing all beings as the children of the divine so that the equality can be established. For that, in a book, I remember Dr. Ambedkar says, first you improve them in what to say? I'm not remembering that word exactly. First you improve them in religious status so that other status will automatically come. I have experienced this in several places. Okay. There is a community, Nadar community in Tamil Nadu, which was once very poor. Now it is a very rich community. It grew first in religious status first. Those great souls like Ayya Vaigundar or Rajamanika Nadar, they grew this community in religious status, and then automatically economy, all those things came. I may not call it as religious status, you can call it as spiritual. You first grow them in spirituality, by that they will acquire all other things. Ennoble them first, by that other things can come. In this way, Sri Ramanuja gave Samashayanam to all, Vaishnavite initiation to all. Vaishnavite initiation belonged to everybody. He proclaimed from the tower of Tirukotiyur, Goshtipuram, and somebody said, if you proclaim like this, you will fall in hell. He said, even if I fall in hell, all others can go to Vaikuntha. That's the vision of Ramanuja. So, when he proclaimed like that, many persons from lower classes started to join in this Vaishnava initiation. By that, they got ennobled. When they get ennobled in culture, when they are cultured more, with that all other abhyudayas, all other developments gradually, because we start to get matured, and all other things, even materialistic benefits, all other things gradually start to come and grow. That is the idea. So, this can be a great message from Sri Ramanujacharya for our Vikasita Bharata. See all children as the kids of one divine, and accept all the caste and creed, and may all enjoy all be the sharers of that Amrutatva, that divine. This is the message of Sri Ramanuja to all of us. Dhanyavadaha.
We are deeply grateful for this very deep and insightful talk. Now, I would request Acharya Ramchandra Bhattji to share his observations.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. As I was one with this Vagdhara of Sri I went on recollecting many imprints, historical imprints, in the post-Mahabharata period. was a struggle in fight between Vikasavada and Vinashavada. Whenever Vinashavada went to its extreme status, with the grace of Bhagavat Chakra, there was an emergence of Vikasavada. That time of Vikasavada, emergence of Vikasavada, it was named as Punarutthana, Renaissance. The post-Mahabharata period, when Chanakya took that message from the Vedic insights, there was an emergence of Punarutthana age. Likewise, when Vinashavada went to its most ugliest form in 7th century, where it was everywhere, Vamavada, Vamapantha, Vamachara. It is due to some misunderstandings of Buddhism. There were 4 schools: Madhyamika, Yogachara, Vaibhashika and Sautrantika. That last school, Sautrantika, they took this Vinasha Paksha, negatively charged misunderstanding of Rishi culture. It went to that extreme, ugly, tragic end. So, if Shankara would have not incarnated, Shankara Saksha, if Ramanuja Acharya with his Mahashivasa Shakti and Lakshmana Shakti, what would have been the history? Because in Simanta Pradesha, all Pardeshi Shaktis in the form of Gunas, Ghadinis, Goris, they were all hampering the whole balance of the society. So that was the second Renaissance, where both Ramanuja and Shankaracharya played a very important role. Shankara got inspiration for this from Kumarya Bhatta. Sri Ramanuja took this vision from Bodhayana. That was the vritti, Bodhayana vritti, that was the main source for his philosophical insight of Prapatti and Bhaktiman. Later on, it was Veera Vaishnava and Veera Shaiva. Today, why celebrating? And remembering both Shankara and Ramanuja in the context of Karnataka Itihasika Prasthaguni, we have to remember even Basaveshwara, who took that Veera Shaiva Vrata from Alamu Prabhu, and he became main source of inspiration for Renaissance, particularly in Maharashtra and Karnataka area. So we have to understand all this in the context of historical events and evidences. Bhagyamidam Sri Ramanujacharyasya Sri Shankarasya Ubhayoho ekadaiva ekasmin dineva janmadina acharanam sambhavati samagra vishwasmin ataha adya taisha bhagyam labdham vayam samanvayavaya idani tu vikasa pradhana vinashana विनाशवादः अकान्तताण्डवनाशकः तादृशसन्दर्भे विकासवादस्य पारम्यं भवेत्। विशेषेण आश्रदीप्तौ प्रकाशः, ज्ञानप्रकाशः, भक्तिप्रकाशः अत्र अद्य प्रस्तुतः। अस्यां सभायाम् अहं श्रीमद्रामानुजाचार्यं तस्य शिष्यपरम्पराञ्च स्मारं आनन्दम् अनुभवन् तत्रैव वार्तालापं
The last part, that is sometimes I'll just give a expert summary of what Patanjali just wrote to us. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, that is what Sri Krishna says, that it is the spirituality that has to show the path, and the path of Adhyatma that was explained by Ramanuja Acharya, Chaturvyuha, as we see in Yoga Sutra, we could glean Chaturvyuha from the 4 steps, 4 strategies or 4 approaches that we can glean from Sri Ranganji's lecture today. One is, for a Vikasit Bharata, the first point is purity of self, of everyone, that is to be recognized. Ego has to be shed, and then that we are all the servitors of the divine, that is the third point, and expansion and not division. So that is the aspect. These 4 aspects are the ones which we can glean from the lecture of Dr. Ranganji. Such insightful talk. So we offer our sincere gratitude from the division of Yoga Spirituality, sir. And now the formal vote of thanks will be proposed by Sri Naveen of division of Yoga.
Namaste. I humbly thank Dr. Ranganji for giving such an insightful talk on vision of Acharya Ramanuja for Vikasit Bharat. And I also request Ranganji to guide and support our department with his wisdom in future also. My special thanks to Guruji Acharya Nagendraji and Acharya Ramachandra, and also humble Vice Chancellor N.K. Manjunath sir. And I also thank Register sir, Shankara